Hey guys, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video tutorial from the Apex Predator Billiards Club. My name is Apex LMU, and in today's video we're going to be talking about an important facet of your pool game. This facet of the game is positional play. Of course, playing position, whether it be in 8 ball, 9 ball, 10 ball, 14.1, one pocket, is a very key component to elevating your game to the next level. This facet of the game is what the top professionals excel at the best. And of course, there are so many secrets to positional play that these professionals know, and I'm certain that this is one of them. I do hope after sharing this reference system with you that was taught to me 4 or 5 years ago by Hall of Famer and World Artistic Pool Champion Ralph Eckert on YouTube, I hope that my audience here will appreciate this system and you will use it in the near future to supercharge your positional game. If this is your first time here on the Apex Predator Billiards Club channel, please be sure to smash the subscribe button below, turn on your post notification bell, consider dropping a like if contents before, now and in the future will be of benefit to your game. And of course, always check the description for links to videos and supporting links to my channel and my growth on my pool channel. So let's discuss what this reference system is, and so we can add some more power to your positional game. Let's get it. Let's go. Alright guys, so as mentioned before in the introduction, this system was something that I came up on watching a video 4 or 5 years ago, and I've been using it to my benefit for quite a while now. I really decided that it's something that you guys ought to know, and my audience here are going to be of great benefit from this reference system. Let's talk about what it is. Now, this particular shot here can be used to play position, and of course it can be used to break out clusters. Now, this shot is a very familiar shot when it comes to 9 ball and 10 ball, and of course you may see it now and again in 8 ball. And this is where you have to pocket an object ball that is in this half of the table. Specifically, the object ball needs to be on this reference line here or in that reference zone. The reference line is running from the second diamond on the long rail on the left to the second diamond on the long rail on the right. And that is the region in which your object ball is going to be lying in. For the cue ball can be anywhere in this half of the table, anywhere in this half. But for the cue ball, even though we have a larger zone than it is from the object ball, the cue ball tends to always go across a reference line. And this reference line is running from the second diamond on the long rail on the left to the second diamond on the long rail on the right, and the cue ball always seems to pass this line. Quite obvious. But can we predict where the cue ball is going to travel as it comes down in this area? This reference system is powerful, and so I'm going to explain to you how it works and how you can identify the principles of this positional play. Okay guys, so I have 3 shots lined up here. I'm going to get rid of them one by one here. And first, I have this object ball, which is the 3 ball here, that is lying on or near the reference line that I have here. Now, your object ball can be a ball below or above this reference line, and it can be even in the reference zone. The difficulty with this shot is that if the object ball is closer to the rail in the reference zone, the shot becomes more difficult and the cue ball retains a lot more energy simply because of the thin cut. But if it's on or near to the reference line here, then it makes the shot more predictable. So what's going to happen here is that I'm going to have an object ball here, and I'm going to try to pocket the 3 in the right corner here. So after pocketing the 3, we'd like to predict where the cue ball is going to come off 2 rails. And so the geometry and the symmetry behind this system is that this reference line here maps exactly onto this reference line here. So after cutting the 3 ball into the corner, The cue ball is going to take 2 rails and it will always track through the path to which you're aiming from, passing through this reference line here. So it doesn't matter where the cue ball is in this zone here. As long as I am in the zone and I pocket the object ball, if it's on the reference line, it's going to come through this spot here on the reference line, okay? If the cue ball is below, it is still going to pass through this reference line because I'm projecting a ghost cue ball onto the reference line. And even if I'm above, let's say here, I'm going to project a ghost cue ball back to the reference line so as to predict the position. Enough of the talking, let's get into executing the shot. I'm going to start by pocketing the 3. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use my first example to break out a cluster. So here, after pocketing the 3, I can predict and I will know that the cue ball is going to pass through. I'm going to project a ghost cue ball here, and I know that the cue ball is going to come off 2 rails. It's going to come through this position here, and it's going to break out my cluster. And that is all because I know the system. So we go through our entire shot routine. We don't have to worry about position because we know where the cue ball is going to go. And just with a natural high ball here, after cutting the 3, it should break out my cluster. Let's go. So this looks to be almost like a half ball cut. That's a natural cue ball, high ball. And a nice little breakout there for you after pocketing the 3. You can see exactly that the cue ball came exactly through the path that is connected to the reference line, projected backwards from where the cue ball's position was. Now I can do the very same thing on the left here. I can pocket the 2. And this time what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put the cue ball behind the reference line here. So what I do know for sure now is that after pocketing the 2, if I project a ghost cue ball back to the reference line, after coming off 2 rails, it's going to come through this area here. And it will break up my cluster for the 5 on the 1. Now the cue ball has a bit of distance, so the shot becomes a little bit more difficult, but it's definitely doable. So we should basically break up the cluster here. Okay. Half ball cut on the 2. And a nice breakout there, cutting the 2, breaking up the cluster. That's example number 1 and 2. Showing you how to break out clusters. Let's have a look at example 3 and 4 of how to actually play position. Alright guys, so in example number 3 here, as you can see, this is not an exact scenario of a 9-ball or 10-ball game. It's just a situation that I set up where I'm actually trying to pocket the 1 into the right corner and I'm trying to go off 2 rails and I'm trying to ensure that I do not run into any clusters. Now I'm going to take another object ball here. Let's say the 2. Let's not use the 2 ball. Let's use, say, the 9 ball. And I'm going to place the 9 ball here. Okay? And so what I'm going to try to do here is that I'm going to try to pocket the 1 in the right, as I said. And I want to ensure that I land on the 4 ball here. But the 9 ball seems to pose a problem because I am not so certain if it is that I may come off 2 rails and bump into the 9. So I can use this system as an aid to getting me some assurance on where the cue ball is going to land. So if I were able to pocket the 1 by natural way of this reference system here, I know that the cue ball is going to come off 2 rails. It's going to head in between the 6 and the 9. It's going to pass through the exact position here where the cue ball is at. It's going to come down here, depending on the speed, I may get an angle on the 4 or I may land straight on the 4. But here I am very certain that after pocketing the 1, I will not be hitting neither the 6 or the 9. And I can even bring the 9 a little bit closer here to give it even more, make it even more challenging. So here, I'm going to pocket the 1, okay? And you'll see that the cue ball is going to go through this exact path right here. And this is just a natural high ball. So this is definitely a 45-degree cut shot. A little bit more than 45 degrees. So this is a center to edge. Natural cue ball here. Nice speed. See, the cue ball comes through this part here, comes out nicely, and gets you an angle on the 4. Now, this system works even if the object ball is, say, above the zone here. So let's say I am right here, okay, and it's now above the reference line. The system still works, because now, even if I place the cue ball here, and I want to say pocket the 4, where would the cue ball actually go after pocketing the 4? I know now that my cue ball is above the reference line, but after coming off 2 rails, it still will have to cross this line. But where on this line is it going to cross? I will just project a cue ball from here back to the reference point, and I know now that it's going to actually come through this area here. Now, based on where the 9 ball is, and I have not changed the situation from the previous example, I may crash into the 9. So I can add some spin, maybe some right spin, come in between the 9 and the 5, or use some left spin and come in between the 6 and the 9. So I could play position here for the 5, or play with a nice speed and come in between the 9 and the 5 for position on the 5 into the side or into the corner. So I'm going to try to execute both shots for you using spin. But this system is more effective whenever you're not using spin. Adding a little bit of spin, just maybe a quarter tip, will get you below or above this reference area here. So here, I'm going to be cutting the 4. I want to play position on the 5 in between the 9 and the 5. So this a quarter tip of spin should get me done, get the job done. It's going to come through this area here. Adding the spin will come through this area here. Just a quarter tip, guys, not much. You can see I added a little bit too much spin, so I got it to curve off the rail too much. I still got position on the 5, but it's not ideal. I would have liked to be like here, where I have an option to go into the corner or into the side, but this is just as good, and I should be able to run out. Let's have a look at trying to go in between the 6 and the 9 for position on the 5 in the side. Okay, so here, guys, I've just moved the 4 over a little bit here, and so I know that if I were to cut this here, I should be coming into the 9 here, because I projected the cue ball back to the reference line here. Coming off 2 rails should get me into the 9. I want to avoid the 9. So I'm just going to be using a little bit of inside spin here, not much. And then I should be able to come in between this area here. Alright, so my table is not as fast as I would like it to be, but evidently you can see that I'm avoiding the 9, both in this area here and avoiding the 9, so I'm actually coming in this zone. Playing it a little bit harder would actually get me here, or shot in the side. But if you see here, I still have a makeable cut into the side pocket here, or I have a bank. Alright? But I only wanted you guys to get an idea of the system. Definitely this is something that you're gonna have to put some time in on the table when playing it. Put a couple of shots onto the reference area here or into the zone. Pocket the balls in either of the corner. Watch the cue ball's path coming around the table, and you will see it always passes this line, and whether it is that your cue ball is above or below this line here, it always passes through this line or past this line, projecting the ghost cue ball from below or above your actual position on the cue ball. All right, I do hope that you enjoyed this video. This was definitely something worth watching. I enjoyed making this video for you. It took some time, took a couple of tries to make some of these shots, but at least I was able to show you how powerful this positional system and reference system is. All right, now if this is again first time here on the channel, please be sure to smash the subscribe button below. Consider dropping a like, share, leave me a comment below, and let me know what you think. I have more videos coming out, guys, game situations based on my last 2 videos on the SID system, so do look out for that. And hopefully you guys will, your positional game will be supercharged and you'll be able to win more racks and play better position. Do take care until next time. This is Apex LNU signing out. Peace.